times already this season. 3D, take a look at those numbers. The exact same average in scoring, similar rebounds, LeBron shooting a higher percentage and more assists. But for a 20-year-old to put up those numbers with one of the greatest players of all time, how impressive is that?
Very impressed. I no longer look at him as a normal 20-year-old because he played professional basketball earlier than most of us, obviously, over in the States. But that being said, what he's getting used to now, Sam, is guys being more physical with him now. That's why that shooting percentage is down, because he's taking the same amount of shots, but sometimes, Sam, he gets that foul call, sometimes he doesn't. But what I love most about it, he doesn't stop attacking, Sam. He's like, oh, you're going to be a little more physical. Okay, I got to get used to it, but I'm going to still come at you every night, every possession. That's why I appreciate everything he's doing for himself and for the Dallas Mavericks, because I say it again, when you and I were doing our preview shows, we didn't have them in the top, let alone top 8, we didn't have them in the top 10 for the Western Conference. Once again, his impact is really, really, really for Dallas right now.
Yeah, I mean, look, you just look at the Dallas Mavericks and Rick Carlisle and then Luka. He's put this team on his back. They didn't know coming into the season what they was going to get from Porzingis.
Right.
They didn't know, and right now he's out right now dealing with some knee soreness. Had to have, a little shot done, that PRP shot done to his knee. But when you look at what he's doing at 20 years old, and think about this, look who we're mentioning him with. When you start talking about LeBron James, you start talking about Oscar Robertson, you start talking about Steve Nash, you start talking about some of the greatest players to ever lace up some sneakers in the NBA. And he's doing it in his second year, got us talking about it. The thing about it is, what are we going to be saying 3 years from now? 4 years, 5 years from now? Because he's going to get better.
It's only getting better. And to Sam's point is like when you, I think Shaq was talking about in story time, and we talk about Larry, when Larry Bird then came, Larry wasn't athletic. I think it's time for us to stop trying to pigeonhole these players when they're so good, so young. Man. Just go and appreciate it, watch it up close. And we had a game here on NBA TV in Center Court a couple weeks ago, and watching it up close, that's when I started picking up the phone. Yeah, man, y'all can stop hating, man. That boy can play, man. But he can't jump. So, you see, he just dunked on somebody, right? But, man, he look like he's going in slow motion. I don't care what your TV set look like, the boy can flat out play. And that's why I said when you watch it up close, he's finding people. He's getting to the paint. Defensively, yes, Rick Carlisle is one of the best guys of, I'm going to hide you a little bit here and there, but he still gets in there and gets those rebounds. How do you get a triple-double if you're not getting there being competitive, right? So he's fighting, he's putting in the effort, and I think to Sam's point, each year, he's going to get better and better, and then we're going to start saying he's one of the greats. And then when Jerry West came out and said what he said, I said, well, shoot, the logo is talking like this, I'm going to go ahead and be quiet and listen to the logo.
Look, it's not just the numbers. Trae Young is putting up gaudy numbers. They're winning. And then you can't necessarily say that the Dallas Mavericks roster, when you got Porzingis, but Porzingis has still not gotten back to where he was before he was injured.
Right.
And then Tim Hardaway Jr. struggled so much to start the season.
Yeah.
They kept asking, who's that third guy? Man, 3D kept
we
saying,
talked about it.
2-3 years ago, Tim Hardaway Jr. was ascended.
Right.
He is a 18 to 20 point scorer. So when you look at this team and how they play and what he's responsible for and the things he have to do on a night-to-night basis, I mean, it's no wonder why he's in that top 3 or 4 in MVP candidates.
Well, looking at the Mavericks in their past 5 games, they're 2-3 in those without Kristaps Porzingis. So it'll be interesting to see how they can weather the storm if he's going to be out an extended period of time. Now, for the Lakers, without Anthony Davis, we don't know the timetable for his return. Right. What are you expecting for them? Riding a 6-game winning streak coming into this one. Remember, they had that 10-game winning streak in against the Dallas Mavericks earlier in the season.
Well, once again, I know LeBron is, I guess, doubtable with his illness, but I think he'll play. But he's going to set the tone and through this win streak, he's always set the tone. But I think lately KCP's starting to make a few shots. The White's playing solid basketball. Obviously, Danny, it's different guys, we know, Sam, that's going to step up because we know that bright light is always on the Lakers. But as long as LeBron laces them up, AD or without AD, you still give yourself a chance to win.
That's LeBron James. Anytime he's on the floor, you think you have a chance to win because you have the best player on the planet playing for you. And he's been that best player, I don't know, last 11, 12, 13 years. It's hard to think about. But when you think about him and what he's accomplished and that the fact that, dude, we talk about Tom Brady, you can see the end in sight. LeBron James in his 17th year, and we don't see the end in sight because I wouldn't be shocked if he played at a high level until he was at least 40, 41 years old. Maybe 42.
He takes care of his body. That's the biggest thing we know as players. That if you can take care of your body, it gives you a chance to play the way you want to play. And LeBron showed
And he
that.
hadn't had a serious injury.
No, good
That's
point.
the thing.
Great
He
point.
hadn't had one of those, microfracture surgeries,
Surgeries or
ACL.
yeah.
He hadn't had any type of injury like that. So when you look at, and that's a lot of luck.
No question. But luck comes with preparation.
Exactly.
And I think that's
the
the
harder
biggest,
I work, the luckier I get.
and that's why we try to teach that to our kids. And it's like, if you want to put yourself in a great situation, you got to make sure your body's prepared for it. So when LeBron James said he invests over $1 million a year into his body, what he eats, how he stretches, all those type of things, now you understand why he's still playing at a high level in the year 17.
Think about this. Let's say over the course he plays 20, 21, 22 seasons. You spend $22 million on your body to make $1 billion.
Makes sense.
I think I like those
Yeah,
returns.
that makes sense to me.
I'm not, like
Yeah,
Shaq
it makes-
said, I can't count very good,
but-
but I know what $1 billion sounds like.
Exactly.
I know that.
That sounds like good math there, Sam.
There you go. Yeah.
Well, the math on Trae Young is that he's averaging 35 over his last couple of years.
Keep doing you, Trey. Just figure out a way to build confidence in your teammates around you. That's all you got to keep doing, young fella.
They got the earliest tip of the night at 7 against the Washington Wizards.
Want to help out their guy.
To your point, Cam Reddish, his last 5 games, averaging less than 5 points per game, shooting 23% from the field, 19% from three-point range. But, Sam, I want to talk about the Wizards for half a second there because, like we mentioned, we see what's wrong with Atlanta. It's when Trae Young comes off the court, the offensive efficiency plummets. Defensively, they're second to last in the league. For the Wizards, they have the second highest bench scoring in the league, just behind the Clippers, and they're beating teams in the last 2 weeks, the Nuggets, the Celtics, the Heat. These are teams in playoff contention in both the East and the West.
Well, but Chris, everybody has to understand this. Pump the brakes. This is not NFL where you get up once a week. You got to get up almost every night for 82 games to play. That's why throughout the course of an NBA season, you're going to see somebody, you may see the Hawks at some point beat a team like the Lakers, beat a team like Milwaukee, because there's so many games. And as a coach and as a player, it's hard to get up. That's why you respect the guys who play 82 and average what they did, because every night you got to get mentally and physically ready to play. When I look at this Washington team, to the coach Lower Pierce comments, they know who they are. Scott Brooks has done a great job with them. Bradley Beal, even when he's in or out, nothing changes in how they play. And the problem is, as a coach, when you have to change how you play because of injuries, that's a tough place to be, because now you're trying to reteach everybody a whole new way of playing. And that's just tough to do on the fly during the season.
And for the coaching staff who developed their bench, or they're able to go to find a guy in the G League who's putting up numbers and say, this guy's willing to come in and be disciplined on one end of the floor because offensively or defensively, whatever he does best, is helping us get wins. That's when you say your scouting department is doing a heck of a job going to find guys that you can plug and play through your injuries.
Some guy who's looking to bounce back from his injury, Zion Williamson. We saw him warming up a little bit earlier. How about this? Zion getting up, Sam. This is what we all been waiting for.
How's he come down? No, give me a different angle. How's he come down?
Look at Griff. You mean to tell me this guy isn't ready to play?
He's not
I get
ready
it.
to
He's
play.
huffing and puffing.
He's not ready to play.
You know who's ready to play? I think this guy rocking this particular
Now, he wants
jacket.
to play. I know him.
Well, he wants to
he's
play.
chomping at the bit to play.
He wants to play.
Who wore it better?
Oh, I'm going with Sam.
Come on, Cliff. Come on.
I'm going with Sam. See, you know what he's missing? He ain't got a pocket spread. See, he's still young.
He's young,
get it.
man. He's
he
getting
ain't
there,
get it.
though.
He don't get
The
it.
only difference, his may cost more than mine.
There you go.
He got that new money. He's done it for his body of work, and he's still playing at an unbelievable level. After 17 seasons, there's been no dropout. And one could argue, Dennis, he's gotten better. When you think about it,
He has.
Other than the free throw line, his jump shot has gotten better. His vision, everything has gotten better. He still can't seem to get over the hump when it comes to shooting free throws.
Yeah, late in the game, Chris, he'll still settle. Because his jump shot's gotten better, he's willing to take that step back three or get to a spot on the floor and shoot it versus using his physicality to make the referee make the call and get to the free throw line. But with that being said, in year 17, it amazes me that our younger generation can say, okay, Dad, you said LeBron was that good. And now they can go Google and look it up. And you say, wait a minute, in year 17, he's leading the league in assists. Well, coming into the league, that was his greatest strength, willing to share and make his teammates better. But now, most guys in their 17th year, they're starting to go downhill. He's kind of in cruise control, right? He's in cruise control, right?
13.
So that, to me, to be able to have your body prepared at this late in your career, still be great, and just make everything around you great, I take my hats off to that.
Yes, still leading the league in assists in his 17th year. Also the only player in NBA history to be in top 10 in points and assists.
Unbelievable.
On the latest edition of